Hello again. Coach and all of his survivalist buddies are back for another round on your computer screen, dear viewer. Horrible violence being beamed directly into your eyeballs through the power of the internet. Ooh, look at this thing. Keep an eye on me. Make sure I don't do anything responsible with this, huh? You'd think my teammates would get a little sweaty when I look at them directly down the scope. Oh God, what's he gonna do now? Anyway, you might argue that this weapon's a bit inopportune for the situation at hand when you have to fight large crowds all at once, and this can only fire one shot at a time. Why did you pick this, you fool? As Josh from Drake and Josh said, why would you do such a thing? Okay, so the goal of this one is we gotta collect gas cans scattered all throughout the mall and dump them into that automobile, and then we can drive to the happiest place on earth. That's right, New Orleans. But first you just gotta collect the gas. Daddy needs his juice. What's Alice saying? Well, he's basically just summarizing what I said. Yeah, the phone rang when I was doing the gameplay, so, yeah. This is the big climactic finale. This is what it's all about. This is why Gabe made Steam. Aside from that other reason. Dump that son of a bitch right in the tank. We gotta fill this shit up all the way so that we can win the Boonta Eve Classic. Oop, and here comes everybody trying to stop us. The chaos has officially kicked off now. It's like Black Friday in here. There's just corpses everywhere and a guy vomiting and guns. This is what Europeans imagine America is like, and then they go make their terrible jokes about it on social media. Ha 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 ha, look at this, people shooting each other in a mall. Ha ha ha, everything is so crazy in America. Things are so much better in Moldova. We don't have any of these problems. We don't have this problem that I invented just now for the sole purpose of making fun of you. I hate the world. And everyone in it. Did you see we picked up a pipe bomb? Doesn't that remind you of those Potter Puppet Pals videos from 2008? No, it doesn't remind me of that, Mongoose 1 billion, 'cause I'm not a Yeah, you're right. You're talking me out of my own joke here. The Potter Puppet Pals are for losers. Who needs them when you've got Puppet Pal Mitch and Puppet Pal Clem? Hey, Puppet Pal Mitch, do you know what day it is? Duh, is it Bonk Day? Yes. And then you know how it goes. This is a good episode. So, as you would expect, there's shit on the stairs. Anyway, you can't hold the gas can and shoot at the same time. That's going to be to our detriment. I think at some point during the development process of this game, Valve kinda figured out that it's very annoying to force the players to choose between being able to shoot and being able to hold the critical item. So to make up for it, they put this sort of meta-game in a different area of Left 4 Dead 2 that makes this mechanic more interesting. You see, if we had chosen the carnival path, we would have encountered that meta-game where the goal of it is you have a lawn gnome, and obviously you can't shoot while holding the gnome, and you have to carry the gnome through all 4 levels until the end of the game. and as you would imagine, that's very challenging to do.
I'm a gnome, and you've been gnomed.
The first time I ever encountered the gnome minigame was many years ago when I was in driver's ed, and in between the lessons I would practice the gnome minigame to try and get that achievement, and the other guy who I was sitting next to in the driver's ed classes, to my surprise, he knew about the gnome achievement in Left 4 Dead 2. You know, he was familiar with that. Because typically, when I'd try to talk to people at school about video game stuff, I'd always end up disappointed. You know, the usual, I only play Call of Duty. But this guy was cool. He knew about the gnome minigame, and he also knew about Wilfred on FX, which was a current show at the time. Yeah, cool guy, whoever that was. Cool guy. So like I've mentioned in previous episodes, there's no sound when I try to get the gameplay, so I was completely oblivious to the fact that there was a tank on the loose during this segment. Oh, there he is now, see? Yeah, I couldn't hear the ominous tank music. That's so badass how they make him climb the walls and such. You know, I think in the multiplayer you can actually play as the infected. I've never actually done that type of multiplayer. I've just done the regular co-op maybe like once. And anyway, if you can play as the infected, I'd like to try climbing on the walls as a tank. Sounds like a fun thing to do. You might be a bit shocked to hear that I've only done the multiplayer once, and even then not the real multiplayer, just the co-op. I mean, by design, this is a multiplayer game. Why aren't you playing it right, you fool? Well, I guess I could never find anybody to join in. The one friend who did play co-op with me the one time, he really only visited once, and he just stole something from me, and I never heard from him again. Such is life. Anywho, ooh, good shot right there. Anywho, so for those of you who, I'm caught on the geometry. Frack. Anywho, so for those of you who've played this game before, by chance have you ever looked at the developer commentary? Because there's lots of very interesting nuggets hidden in there if you're willing to look. Like for example, when they hadn't yet finalized the designs. Gee, I should really go help my team. When they hadn't yet finalized the designs for the zombies, there was this idea that perhaps they could base the zombies off of people with real-life diseases and injuries, and they found a bunch of pictures of such, and they called it the Nightmare folder, but out of ultimately they decided it was too disturbing, so they decided to base the zombie skins off of window panes and potato skins instead. I didn't make that up, that's a real thing. That is out there. Maybe they'll bring the idea back if they ever do Left 4 Dead 3. Just kidding, they would never do such a thing. Valve does not care about gamer people. You know what I just realized? We're 4 episodes into this Let's Play and we haven't made any grabbing pills jokes yet. That used to be the pinnacle of gaming comedy in 2009. Because Lewis from Left 4 Dead 1 would grab pills. Memes stunk even back then, huh? Anyway, we gotta make at least a few of them to make this a true Left 4 Dead Let's Play, so let's do that now.
Pills here! Pills here! Pills here! Pills here! Grabbing pills, grabbing pills.
Grabbing some pills, grabbing some pills.
Pills here!
Fucking dumb. Anybody who tries to tell you that memes were better back then is a fool. Memes stunk then and they still stink now. Maybe like 10% of them are worth anything. I mean, I still like the 2008 era YouTube stuff. Dinner!
Lots of spaghetti!
Those were kind of funny, I guess. I mean, they were stupid, but they were there. So few people at my school ever understood why it was funny that Bowser said mashed potatoes. So few people at my school even knew who Bowser was. There were no gamers back then. At least not at my school anyway. Gosh, some days I feel like I'm just telling slight variations of the same story over and over again. Okay, just 2 more gas cans to go. Oh, whoa, you see that thing fly over the stairwell? It's got physics to it, good lord. I feel kinda guilty taking Rochelle's health kit when she clearly needs it more than I do. Okay, there we go. Daddy needs his juice. Now, as previously stated, this game uses a special AI system called the Director, wherein the game watches what you're doing and tries to send you zombies accordingly. And so, since we've just got 1 gas can left, the Director's gonna send pretty much everything it can at us, all at once. It's gotta try its very hardest to stop us, right here in this exact moment. Everything, everywhere, all at once. This is where the chips are down. But my time-honored strategy of just ignoring all of the zombies and running past them seems to have worked for us thus far. I can't imagine it not working. At this point, I mean, it's right over there. As they say in the Monty Python movies, run away, run away. Hottest joke in 1975. Okay, just put it in there. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Okay, there we go. That is a wrap.